Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let us continue bihawlillahi wa quwwatih with our tafsir of Surah Aal-Imraan. We are on ayah number 52. قال الله تعالى فلما أحس عيسى منهم الكفر قال من أنصاري إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله آمنا بالله واشهد بأننا مسلمون. So he says فلما, so when أحس, to feel. Normally أحس is done with the five senses, but here Isa alayhi salam felt from the people that they were rejecting his message. Now of course that cannot be done with the five senses, that can be done only via perception, but the word ahassa can be used to mean perceive, although it is not normally used in that way. He said to the people, who is my ansar, meaning my helper. Nasir is a helper and ansar is the plural. Just like the last Prophet ﷺ had the ansar, who were from Al-Madinah. Ilallah, normally that means to Allah, but in this context it means who are my helpers in calling people to Allah, because your da'wah, your call is to Allah, of course, to the tawheed of Allah Jalla wa Ala. The Hawariyun, they said, we are your helpers. Hawariyun, plural of Hawari. Now this word comes from al-hawar, which means whiteness, which is of course a pure, clean color. So the Hawari would be somebody who is pure and sincere to you. So a Hawari can also be translated to a Nasir, a helper, because a true helper has a clean heart, a pure heart towards you. It's been said that these Hawariyun were 12 people. It is also said that Hawari is a disciple or a student of yours who is extremely dedicated to you. As far as their names are concerned, they are mentioned in some books, but is this all authentic or not, we are not sure. And then besides, there is not too much benefit in knowing their names. They also say, we have Iman in Allah, so washhad, so bear witness that we are Muslimun. So they are making Isa alayhi salam bear witness that they are Muslimun. Ayah 53, their statement continues, رَبَّنَا آمَنَّا بِمَا أَنزَلْتَ وَاتَّبَعْنَا الرَّسُولَ فَاكْتُبْنَا مَعَ الشَّاهِدِينَ. Rabbana, our Rabb, it's meant to be Ya Rabbana. This is why the Rabb is mansub bil-fatha, because you're calling out. We have accepted and believed in what you sent down. This means from the Injil, that was the scripture of Isa alayhi salam, of course. وَاتَّبَعْنَا الرَّسُولَ, we have followed the messenger, so that is referring to Isa alayhi salam. فَاكْتُبْنَا, so write us down or record us. مَعَ الشَّاهِدِينَ, with those who are witnesses. So this is to say, those people who witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah. The Shahada, in other words. And also they are witnessing that Isa alayhi salam is the true messenger and has conveyed the message, just like we witness with Allah Jalla wa Ala and the last prophet. Okay, so reflecting on these two ayat then, we take that after Isa alayhi salam had preached the message to his people, he felt and sensed that there was kufr amongst many people. Now of course most of mankind will always be kafir, but what's particularly amazing about this is that Isa alayhi salam has performed so many amazing miracles, and yet after all of that there is still kufr amongst the people, certainly in a significant portion. And this matter further illustrates another point, that miracles are not quite so miraculous. Those people who are going to disbelieve will disbelieve even if they see the most amazing miracles in front of their face. Conversely, those people with an open heart, a humble heart, are going to believe even if they see no miracles in front of their face. The matter is not about miracles. The matter is about the heart. We also notice that Isa alayhi salam wants to confirm who are the real believers and those who are not, and in this there is a lesson for us. When something is unclear, then seek clarification. It is dangerous to be wandering around blindly when you're not clear on a particular matter, because when you're not clear you end up making the wrong decisions. Isa a.s. needed to know who are the real, true, faithful followers. Who are the people he can trust? Because if you end up trusting the wrong people, then you only have yourself to blame. You also find that messengers, such as Isa a.s., need helpers, because messengers are just humans. We also find the virtue of the Hawariyin in that they openly and proudly proclaim that they are believers and they are helpers to the messenger, and so they do not fear anyone blaming them. It is something to be joyous about. They are not ashamed of their beliefs and their deen. Notice how they say, Nahnu Ansarullah, we are the helpers of Allah. Now of course Allah Jalla wa Ala needs no help whatsoever, but being the helper of Allah simply means you're helping the deen of Allah, you're giving da'wah to the people, and you're promoting tawheed. So if that's what you're doing, then you are from the helpers of Allah, and Allah helps those who help His cause. We also take that the Hawariyun are saying, bear witness that we are Muslimun. So you can see that they are taking pride in their Iman, and this is a good thing. Nowadays, what do you see? People taking pride in their country or in their nationality, and stupid things like these, which are nothing more than an accident. You did not choose your nationality. And it's okay that someone should bear witness that he is a Muslim or that he is a mu'min. And also it is okay to call somebody else to witness that you are a Muslim or a mu'min. And this is not showing off. Rather, this serves a particular purpose. In this case, it would be to reassure Isa a.s. that they are indeed on his side. And related to this is the issue of uttering the statement, I am a Muslim, or I am a mu'min, without saying inshaAllah. Is this permissible? Well, as for saying I am a Muslim, then that is obviously obligatory, because if you're not a Muslim, then you're a kafir. But what about saying I am a mu'min? Because mu'min is a higher level than just a mere Muslim. It is talking about your inner beliefs. Well, if you say I am a mu'min, and what you intend is that you have the basic level of Iman, then of course this is obligatory, because otherwise you would be a kafir. But if you say I am a mu'min, and what you intend is that you're a perfect mu'min, because Iman of course fluctuates, and that you intend that you have the perfect level of Iman, then of course this is tazkiyatun nafs. It is purifying or assigning purity to your own selves, which is not permissible. Only Allah Jalla wa Ala knows the true level of your Iman. If a person says, I am a mu'min insha'Allah, because he has doubts about his Iman, so this is why he says insha'Allah, then of course this is actually kufr, because having doubts about your Iman is kufr. The whole idea of Iman is that you have no doubt about it. Doubts are for the munafiqeen. But if a person says, I am a mu'min insha'Allah, intending thereby that he is a mu'min by the will of Allah, because insha'Allah can be used to mean by the will of Allah, then of course that is the truth. Everything is by the will of Allah, and so therefore there is nothing wrong with that. We also find that it is obligatory to follow what Allah has sent down from the scripture, just as the Hawariyun exclaimed, and we note that this is the Injil. It is not the Gospels which is in the hands of the Christians today. So we talk about the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. This is not what the Hawariyun believed in. In fact, those 4 Gospels were written well after Isa a.s. Isa a.s. himself would not even recognize these 4 Gospels, which are in the hands of the Christians today. We also find the obligation of following the messenger, and this necessarily entails actions. There can be no following without actions. We can also take that Isa a.s. is a messenger, because they call him Ar-Rasul. When they say وَاتَّبَعْنَا الرَّسُولِ, we also find the virtue of the Hawariyin in that they are eager to be recorded amongst those who bear witness to the Shahada. And so we too should be eager to be in the company of the righteous. And we also note a vital lesson, that the followers of Isa a.s. were Muslimin. And why is this vital? It is obligatory upon us to know that the followers of all prophets were Muslimin. Not Christians, not Jews, but Muslimin. If you even uttered the word Christian or Jews to the followers of Isa alayhi salam or Musa alayhi salam, they would not know what you are talking about. But if you uttered the word Muslim to them, that is in their language, then they would testify that yes, we are Muslimin. They may not have used the word Muslim per se because it is an Arabic word. They would have used the equivalent word in their language, whether it be Aramaic or Hebrew or anything else. Ayah 54. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plotted, and Allah too plotted, and Allah is the best of those who plot. So in this ayah is talking about the kuffar who plotted against Isa alayhi salam. What is this plot? Well, it is well known they planned to kill Isa alayhi salam and to crucify him on the cross, which was the punishment in those days. And of course we know that Allah Jalla wa Ala saved him and made somebody else to look like Isa alayhi salam on the cross. And this was the plan of Allah against them. So they plotted, but Allah plotted against them. So He counteracted their plot. And Allah is the best of those who plans and plots against the enemy. So from this ayah we take the main lesson, which is from our Aqidah, is that from the descriptions of Allah is that He does plan and plot against certain people. However, this description of His needs to be understood only in the proper context, which is that He only plans and plots against those people who deserve it, meaning those who are evil, those who are, for example, plotting or planning to kill a righteous person, such as a prophet or a messenger, or maybe they are plotting and planning against the Muslimin. So people love to talk about conspiracy theories these days, and there will always be kuffar conspiring against Muslimin. As for these online conspiracy theories, then we simply do not need to invest our time in these types of things, because most of it is just hearsay and completely baseless or based on twisted interpretations. So we need not invest too much time in this. It is sufficient for us to know that whatever the kuffar are conspiring against the Muslimin will come to nothing, because Allah Jalla wa Ala is the best of those who plans, and He will foil their conspiracy against the believers. This is sufficient for us to know. Beyond that, it's a waste of time following these conspiracy theories. Rather, we invest our time in learning about this deen. So plotting and planning is from the description of Allah, but we understand it in the proper context. We also understand that makir, the one who plots, is not from the names of Allah, but makr is from the descriptions of Allah in the proper context. هذا والله أعلم.